I just wanted to do a quick check into the market this morning. Generally, I check into the market in the different discords. I type different things all over the place, but I just thought it was just easier just to do a quick little video to analyze all the sectors and just see where we're at. So we are starting to get some pullback. I have been short on tech for the last few days. We had double top happening up here with SPY. Same thing was happening with QQQ. So of course, that is when I started my short, like when we were up here on QQQ, and I just did this by buying SQQQ, which is an inverse ticker to QQQ. So when QQQ drops, SQQ goes up. So I typically do this when I'm holding some swings, and I'll start to scale in small on weakness. So I basically had sold most of my swings. I did start to scale in small because you never know how far we're going to dip before the bulls come back up. So I was hoping for a little bit of a gap down this morning. I would sell my SQQQ short and then add to my positions. But what we're seeing right here does not look like what I expected, but you know, it was just the most likely scenario. That doesn't mean that's what we're going to see. So if we go back to SPY, what we're seeing is we are still in an hourly downtrend. We're getting a little bit of some green on the morning, but that doesn't mean anything unless we're going to get over a level that is going to change our hourly trend. So basically we want to get over this level, 467.38 on SPY, before we are guaranteed, or not guaranteed, but before we can be confident that we are going to start trending back upwards. So we can come up to that level, test that level, and then just come back down. Remember, when we're going down, we have red, but it's not always going to be red. We're going to have green. So we may have a little bit of green now, but that doesn't mean that it's time to start any long positions. It looks like consolidation is still in effect, and we have come down a little bit past. So the first level I was watching was that EMA 12, 462.20, or for EMA 12, which is at 462.20, and we broke that level just a little bit. That doesn't really matter too much. We could still get a bounce here off this EMA 12, but we could also come down, and the next level I'd be looking for would be this 455.66 level, which is the EMA 26 on the daily. So for the last little while, I have only been adding very small to very weak tickers. So my plan is to watch these tickers and then add further on weakness as long as the trends still look pretty good. So if we continue down, that will be what I'm doing. But also in addition, I'm going to keep my short if we're continuing downwards. And I may look at UVXY if the volatility starts to go up, then the UVXY will start to go up. So if we take a look at UVXY here, we've been going up for a while. This was right here, some resistance, and now we've come down. So there's no certainty about buying UVXY, so I'm not jumping into that just yet. It's a little bit late to get into short positions right now until we see what happens this morning. I'm already in one short position, but I'm not going to be shopping for other ones yet until we see what happens with this level. So I'll be watching this 467.38 level on SPY and to see if we reject or break this level, and that will determine what I'm going to do next with the rest of my positions. So looking at IWM, which is the small caps, it's very similar to SPY. We were running very similar to SPY there for a while, hitting all-time highs, hit a top and have come down to the EMA 12. The RSI level hasn't returned to a normal area that I think that would be comfortable with it continuing an upward movement. So we'll see. This might be enough consolidation, but it's hard to tell at this point. I would look at the next level there. We might see a little bit of green today and then a further move back down as well with SPY. XLF, I just pulled this chart up. This is the finance ETF sector, and you can see I had been drawing this descending triangle, and it was just on my chart when I pulled it up, and we've just still been following in this same descending triangle pattern. So this one's been pretty healthy lately because a little bit of sideways movement, a little bit of, you know, falling wedge type. This could be a wedge or this could be a triangle. We could break bull from this, or we could break bear from this. Our RSI is getting to a healthy level, but we have a lot of bear volume. So leaning a little bit more towards the bear side of things just because of this bear volume, but this could be dependent on the rest of the market as well. If we start to see some bullish movement in the rest of the sector, the rest of the market, then we might see this in XLF. But for now, finance is just slowly kind of going sideways in a little downwards motion here. We can look at this EMA 26 as well to see if we can get our support there. Although, you know, we never touched it yet. It's 39.71. We haven't quite made that level. So that's the level I'll be watching for XLF. Now looking at healthcare, we have a completely different situation here. Healthcare is looking pretty healthy and kind of bullish because this is kind of like a cup and handle pattern that we have here, and we are resting on this EMA 12, and it looks like we could possibly see another leg up. So if we see some strength in healthcare, we could see the rest of the market go with that as well. So that's something to keep an eye on, and a reason why I like to take this bull sector by sector outlook in the market. And another one that's looking pretty different is the metals and mining sector. I had this big falling wedge pattern drawn here, and you can see we broke from this. We broke off this SMA 100, and we made a new no, we're close to making a new all-time high here. So again, another sector which is in a completely different scenario than big tech or overall SP 500 stocks that most people like to watch. So another reason why I like to get this broad market outlook. So now I'm just going to go through and look at some sectors, some ETFs, just see where we're at really quickly. So with solar, we are not near all-time highs. We were starting to make a little bit of a trend change here, and we just have a little bit of consolidation. We've come down to this EMA 26. Solar could possibly have a bounce here off this EMA 26. So I'm going to take a look at some of the different solar tickers today for possible swings if we start to see some strength returning to the market. Gold, we have some strength. We had a gap up yesterday, and now we're having some pre-market strength as well. So this is something that's sort of like a hedge that people do when we have market weakness. Some people start looking at putting money into gold. So that's something to think about as well. We could be having a little bit more of a pullback because we're seeing some more strength in gold. So that's something to keep an eye on. If we look over at the cannabis sector, because I have been watching this and I do have some plays here because I feel that cannabis could in fact run inverse to the rest of the market, because when the market was very strong, cannabis was so weak and we had gotten to such a weak level, and then when the market started showing weakness, cannabis was starting to have some strength. So this is why I've been doing the videos in the cannabis sector and why I do have a couple positions there, and they're positions that I am waiting to see what happens with them, because when they move hard, and it's tough to chase in that sector. It's easier just to get there, wait, and then collect your profit at the end. So basically, this is MSOS. This is the U.S. cannabis sector. We had a big boost the other day. We have filled a gap. We've come down, and now we are sort of at a crossroads. So we'll see what happens in the cannabis sector today. So before I wrap it all up, I just wanted to go back to QQQ and mention this level 395.85 is the level that I'm watching. If we can break that level, then we will be changing our hourly trend. So that is where I will look at closing my short and start looking possible longs in the sector. But that level is only going to apply today. If we reject that level and keep going, then we'll have to look for new levels, which we can be looking out for. So this was just a quick check-in. I didn't do any editing to this video. I just fired it off, and it was really simple for me to do. So if you do like this kind of video, I can do them regularly. So can you just drop a comment and let me know, and then I can just do these videos whenever the market has something interesting for us to be looking at. That's it. Have a great day trading, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.